We're joined by Sylacauga Mayor Doug Murphree, and Doug is busy like the council is and others in our city as we try to get our arms around this 1.5 cent sales tax increase and possible borrowing of $25 million. First time that the CEO of the city, Doug Murphree, has been with us since this first broke. Doug, good morning to you, first of all.
Good morning, Jimmy Dale. Thank you for having me here. Good to be here.
Over a 3-hour meeting yesterday, work session.
Yeah, we had
What's going on?
work. Well, we had a room full of people last night that I guess it was kind of divided. Some of them was for borrowing the $25 million and moving forward with a sportsplex, and some of half the room was against borrowing $25 million and putting the city into that much debt. So we've got some work to do. We've got to decide what we're going to do, and unfortunately, we've got a lot more to look at than building a sports complex. And I know that this has been a hot issue for the last 15 or 16 years. And the truth is, we just have not had the money the last several years to do this. And of course, to do a $15 million sports complex, we're going to have to raise taxes. I don't know of any other way that we can do an issue that big or a project that big without raising sales tax. So
1.5 cent to 2 cent sales tax, and Walter Lewis talked about last night. Maybe the city is looking at a 2% increase as well instead of just 1.5%. A lot of people have talked.
Yes.
A lot of councilmen have talked. A lot of experts have talked. What's the feeling of Sylacauga Mayor Doug Murphree on this?
Well, I want to take a more conservative approach. I don't mind saying that. When I ran for mayor the last term, I said that I would not support a big sales tax increase, or I said I wouldn't support any sales tax increase. But we've got to the point now, Jimmy Dale, where we cannot balance our budget anymore. So, and we've got to do some work on our infrastructure. So, I'm about to the point where I would support maybe a 0.5 cent sales tax increase, or maybe even 3/4. If we could stay below 9%, I think we would still be competitive with all the other cities around us, and move more slowly on these projects. I think it's time now to go ahead and move on a sports complex, but the main thing that everybody is interested in is access to the present sportsplex, if that's the one that we use. And that road is going to cost us probably $4 million. So you put that $4 million with another $5 million that we need immediately to pave our roads. We're up to about $10 million now.
Of that $25 million.
Of that $25 million. So, my thoughts would be to do the sports complex in phases. But the first phase, of course, would be to build the road. And, I would rather see us, maybe go ahead and raise sales tax up a 0.5 cent or 3/4 cent. And, start doing our work on building the road, do our paving, we've got some drainage work we need to do around town. Get all that done, and maybe do some improvements on our present sports complex. Mm-hmm. Parking is an issue out there. We need to address that. The concession stand. So I would like to go ahead and spend some money out there and improve on that one, and then maybe in the next phase look at moving across the road and adding to it. So.
You don't just snap your fingers and instruct people to go out and build a road. There's a lot goes into this that we haven't addressed yet.
No, we have not acquired the land. We own a small portion of the land that it's going to take to build the road, but there's other owners involved, and we've got to purchase that land, whether it be through them agreeing to sell or whatever. We've got to acquire the land. So that's going to be the first step. And then, see if the land is suitable build a road that would hold up out there.
Is the $4 million including the land purchase, or is that separate?
No, that's just to build the road, I think. So we're probably looking at maybe $5 million by the time we get the land and all the roads built and the road built out there, and then some parking and all that stuff. So
Your concern, more than most concerns that you have, seemingly is the infrastructure of our city.
yeah, and we have not ignored or neglected our infrastructure, but we just have not had the money to do the infrastructure work that needs to be done, like the road paving. And Tom Ogletree and I talked several years ago, and Tom said, one of these days drainage is going to overwhelm you in this city, and that's coming true. We have some problems with drainage. We've had times recently where we got water in the stores downtown, and that's a big issue. We don't, we can't have our businesses flooding downtown or any other place. So, that's something that you don't go out and get votes by doing. You don't fix drainage issues and be real popular, but that's something that we've got to do. And the paving, our roads are awful. They're falling apart. So we have got to spend probably $4 to $5 million on roads. When I did I tried at the first of this term to get money from the state on the A-Trip program. We didn't get any money, but we determined then that we needed about $8 million worth of road paving just to get our main arteries in Sylacauga where they needed to be. So even if we did a $5 million project, that wouldn't cover everything that we need to do, but it would be a good start. Now we could do a lot of paving and work on our roads with $5 million.
Why is it that you pick up a newspaper or you go on Facebook, any social media, and you find much conversation about the sports complex?
Well,
very little discussion about infrastructure.
Yeah. And the sports complex, like I said earlier, it's been going on for years, and that's a popular thing. And I want a sports complex. I would love to have a sports complex and I've not seen Coleman Sports Complex, but that seems to always come up. I want the best we can have for our kids. I would love to have a multi-million-dollar sports complex, something that we can bring people in here and be proud of, but it takes money. So, also I'd like to have an aquatic center. We went to Valley to look at their aquatic center back several years ago, Sam Wright and I and Jim Armstrong, and they've got a beautiful facility, something that they can use year round and the seniors can use, and I want some things for Sylacauga. I want to improve the quality of life for all the citizens of Sylacauga, our kids included, and I just think it's, but we've got to have money to do it. So I think it's time that we maybe looked at raising sales tax a small percent, and but I don't think we should raise it 1.5 cents or 2 cents. That's my opinion. I don't have a vote, but it's my opinion that I don't think we need to raise it 1.5 or 2 cents.
You raise it, just say 1.5%, and it's been estimated that X amount of dollars would come out of that, and it would go toward the loan payment of the borrowing of the $25 million, if I'm correct on that. But a lot of this is conjecture. You don't know what tomorrow is.
Unfortunately, we can't see into the future, and we don't know what's going to happen. But true. Right now, we get 3 cents out of our 8% sales tax. We get 3 cents of that, and that brings us in about $6 million. So, if you use that number, if we borrowed a 1%, that would bring us in $2 more million, or 1.5 would bring us in $3 million. So, that's why I say if we if we stuck with a half percent, that would hopefully bring us in about $500,000 a year, and our 0.75% would bring us, hopefully maybe $1.5 million, which I think, again, if we stay under 9%, I think we could live with that. I think everybody could live with that. And then, and I've met with a gentleman the other day who's prominent in Sylacauga, and I value his opinion greatly. And I would like to look at other ways to fund some of this stuff. We've got issues with our garbage. That has not worked out like we all thought it would. I think we need to relook at that or readdress that, and look for other ways of funding, maybe, but to do all this at one time, I just think it's a big step.
A lot of rumors floating around.
Yeah.
And there's a rumor on every corner.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the rumors is that Walmart has threatened to pull out if we go with this 1.5 cent sales tax. And, people hear stuff and they say, oh, no, not this. So address that a little bit.
Well, and I'll say that Walmart I've not been in any contact with Walmart. They have not contacted my office at all, saying that they were going to pull out if we raise sales tax a penny and a half. And one thing, Walmart, police protection and fire protection is big for Walmart. We have a full-time police department. We can answer a call at Walmart within a matter of minutes, where if they're in the county, it could take longer. So I think that's a big thing for Walmart. But no, to answer your question, we have not been contacted by Walmart on anything about move-in or anything like that.
You have been contacted by another group that you guys worked with about the 280 property originally.
Yeah, I got a certified letter yesterday and an email Friday. This group have contacted a law firm, and they're saying that we did not follow the correct procedure in that land out there when we signed the contract. So I met with, or I talked to our city attorney yesterday, and we're going to talk again probably tomorrow, and and we're probably going to need to get some help from the league, other attorneys, and that are familiar with this type stuff. So we're going to address that. They have not filed suit yet, but they threatened that if we didn't do something within 30 days, that they would. But that's all it is right now. Is just they've served notice that they may file suit in 30 days.
It was talked about initially by Rocky Lucas, who's the president of the city council. It was his proposal, initial proposal about this 1.5 cent sales tax and the $25 million loan, and talked about the closing of one end of Twin Street, and that's not as easy as one might think either.
No, that's anytime you close a road, you've got a lot of things to work on. You've got to have public meetings and get the input from all the public, and I guess he's probably talked to Greg Atkinson, the commissioner, but Greg is like one of our council members. You've got to have the whole commission before you can close a road, and you've got a lot of hoops to jump through before you close a road. So that's been talked about, but there again, there's a lot of work to do there before that can be done. And you talk about Rocky's proposal. Right now, that's a proposal. Rocky's one man. Rocky has made a proposal that he's in favor of. And as time goes on, I hope we have other proposals. I've got a proposal of my own. I would like to share with the council, and I'm sure there's others that has proposals that they would like to make. So right now it's all just talk. So we have not done anything yet as far as borrowing money or raising taxes, and it's not on the agenda tonight to raise taxes. So hopefully there's going to be a lot more discussion before we raise taxes or borrow $25 million or borrow anything.
It's election year.
It is, and that's one of the reasons that the sportsplex thing comes up every year around election time, and rightfully so. And everybody wants to say, well, if you elect me, we'll build a sports complex. Well, I want to build a sports complex, like I said, but we've got to have money. So that's the bottom line. We've got to, and we've got a whole lot of other things that we have to look at as far as funding, and it don't take long for that $13 million to get spread very thin when you start looking at the whole city.
If we don't do anything, we don't do the 1.5 cent sales tax, we don't borrow the $25 million, we don't get a sportsplex, we don't get an aquatic center, wiping all of that off the table, where is the city of Sylacauga financially?
And that, I think, well, we're okay. We're not in debt. We're not deep in debt. We're not, and we try to put back about $20,000 per month in our capital fund. We use that to buy police cars, and anytime we need capital purchases, we try to use that. Now we have not got a whole lot of money in there, but we try to look at the future. We try to put money back for a rainy day, I guess. And we've got other funds. We don't live month to month in the city. We've got enough that we could sustain the city if something terrible happened. But we've got to be careful. We can't just buy anything we want to.
Yeah. Finally, this morning, with all these issues out here, with the sports complex, the infrastructure, a lot of other issues that we are looking at to move forward in our city, does it cause one to rethink about the election as far as city leaders are concerned?
Well, I don't know. I guess everybody's got their own opinion, and and everybody's got their own ideas. Everybody that wants to run for office has different ideas, and but most of the things that people come up with when they're running for election has already been thought of. I mean, there's reasons that we can't do everything we want to do. Now, I agree, and you mentioned a minute ago, Sylacauga, we do need to improve the quality of life here. We need an aquatic center. We need a new sports fields. And I think we need to move forward with that. I think we're not stagnant, but I think we need to do some things to make people feel good about Sylacauga. I think, and we seem to be spending money toward education and doing things there. I think we need to continue to improve quality of life for our citizens, and start moving toward things like a new sports field and an aquatic center and things that people can enjoy. And also at the same time, we've got to look at our infrastructure. We've got to look at paving roads and fixing drainage, and we've got a lot of things that we've got to look at. Our fire station, our fire rating is right now we're a 4. We've talked about maybe getting that lower so everybody's insurance would be cheaper. There's just a multitude of things that we've got to look at. Mm-hmm. And like I said a minute ago, this $13 million don't go far when you start balancing a budget.
Very quickly before we go, the property out on 280 near Walmart, where are we at on that?
Well, we signed a contract with Hutton, and he's got 60 days plus another 120 days, I think, to bring back us a proposal as far as what he will do. And if we don't like that proposal, then the whole thing's off. We don't have to move forward with a sale of the land or anything like that. And as far as the sale of the land, I know that that's included at a lower price than what we paid for it. But that will be taken into consideration when we consider his deal back to us. It's gonna, there'll be a revenue sharing type deal, and he'll get part of the sales tax off the shopping center once it's built and all that. But the sale of the land will be taken into consideration as far as doing the infrastructure and all that after he comes back with his proposal.
Capsuling Sylacauga Mayor Doug Murphree, our guest this morning. Short-term future of the Sportsplex and the 1.5 cent sales tax and the $25 million, that's still a ways out, you think?
Well, I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done on it, like the road, and you know, if we can't get a better access to the present sports complex, there's no sense in moving forward with improving it. So we've got to take things one at a time, and you know, the road to it is one of the first things that we need to address. So there's a lot of due diligence that we've got to take care of before we do anything.
As it said, that's why you make the big bucks, man. Sylacauga Mayor Doug Murphree, our guest this morning. Mayor, always a pleasure.
Thank you,
for
Jimmy
coming by
Dale.
this
Good to
morning.
be here.